Today we are making a super simple tomato cucumber salad. This recipe is great for summer, super quick to put together. This took me 10 minutes and very minimal ingredients. So we need some tomatoes and some cucumbers, as you may have expected. I'm using pickling cucumbers just because they tend to have smaller seeds. Altogether about 3 cups diced bite size or slightly smaller. We're going to toss everything together in a large bowl, so make sure you get out a large mixing bowl. There's a lot of veggies going in here. And then I have 2 large tomatoes. I'm just going to cut my little core out and then again cut these up into the same size that you cut your cucumbers into. Again, we need about 3 cups of tomato. And another thing I love about this recipe is the farmers markets during the summers almost always have tomatoes and cucumbers. So you know this is going to be a really fresh salad. Now, if you prefer a little more cucumber or a little more tomato, you can tweak this recipe to fit your taste. And it's okay if you don't have the exact amount. This recipe is really easy. Once you make it, you learn to make it the way you like it to taste. It's really easy to make a really small portion just for a single serving or a larger portion for a big gathering. Now, how much I made today is plenty for a large gathering. So then I'm using a medium yellow onion, and my first one was kind of going bad in the middle, so I just started with a fresh one, and I'm gonna dice this really small. Now, I think you could also use red onion if that's what you'd prefer. I'm not sure if white onion would work for this. I've never made this or had this with white onion. Drop a comment if you think white onion would be good in this. Once you have your onion diced, toss that in the bowl with your cucumber and tomato. And then it's time for our super simple dressing. I am going to add about a teaspoon of sugar. You can absolutely omit this, but I think it helps to balance the flavors. It can also help cut the acidity of the tomato. But then I'm going to add a bunch of salt. I'm using kosher sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. I would say start with an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt if you're using this quantity of veggies. And then I'm using extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin is what I would recommend. Start with maybe a 1/3 cup, and then you can go up to a 1/2 cup, again, more or less to your taste. And then some apple cider vinegar. Start with 2 tablespoons, and you can always add more depending on how acidic you want it to be. Some people don't care for vinegar. You can absolutely omit the vinegar if you want, but it works really well together with the cucumbers and the tomatoes and the onion. And then toss it all together. Do give it a taste test. When I took some to work the next day, I added a little more olive oil and a little bit more salt, and it just helped balance the flavors, the fat from the olive oil, the salt, making all the flavors pop. I will leave all the ingredients and directions down below in the description for you guys. If you think this recipe would be delicious, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more delicious recipes, and if you want another delicious, easy summer recipe, go ahead, click here on screen, and I'll see you guys there.